Hello, beautiful beings of light, beautiful perspectives in this world. I'm so grateful you're here. In my last video, I was talking about how the attitude of gratitude and specific practices of gratitude have changed my life. And in today's video, I want to dive a little bit deeper into one of those practices, which is converting guilt into gratitude. Now, whether you acknowledge it or not, we live in a vibrational universe. Everything is energy, from the subatomic particles that make up all of matter to the visible waves of light that we perceive as color, from the beating of our hearts to the neural connections and synapses that occur in our brains and throughout our bodies. This also includes emotions. Emotions are vibrations. They are essentially energy in motion, and they originate from the thoughts and stories and narratives that we tell ourselves. Now, vibrations occur at different frequencies, and a frequency is just the cycle of something per given unit of time. And lower frequencies are slower vibrations, and they're lower energies. They're more dense. Whereas higher frequencies have higher vibrations, faster vibrations, they're higher energy and are less dense. You can think of it like water. When we freeze water, it turns into ice. And ice is hard and dense and solid, and the molecules aren't moving very quickly. And as the ice melts, it turns into the liquid state of water, which is more fluid and less dense and a higher energy state. And that water can eventually turn into vapor or a gaseous state, which is an even higher frequency state. The molecules move at a quicker rate and they take up more space, more spacious. And it's less dense, the least dense. Much like water, our emotions also exist on an energetic scale. We have the low frequency, dense emotions, which could also be classified as survival emotions. And as you might have guessed, they are the emotions of shame and guilt and anger and jealousy and fear. And these cause energetic contraction in our state of being as they're more dense. I mean, just think of it. How do you feel when you're experiencing sadness or fear or guilt or shame? Do you tend to freeze up? Do you move more slowly and more sluggishly? Do you want to just stay in bed all day and hide? Now compare that to how you feel when you experience the high frequency, high vibrational emotions, the elevated emotions, such as love and joy and happiness and peace and gratitude. These lead to energetic expansion as their state is less dense. Because our emotions, our energy, and these emotional states are temporary, they're constantly changing because energy is always in flux and our emotional state is constantly responding to our thoughts, which means that through practice, we have the power to change our emotional state. Now, the physical universe manifests from an invisible, interconnected, unified field of energy and information. And because we too are energy, we also manifest from this invisible field, which means that we are interconnected with everything beyond time and space. Now, our thoughts and our feelings create our state of being. And you could describe this as our energetic signature, which we are emitting out into the world at a given time. And this energy signature that we're broadcasting affects everything around us because, like I said, it's all interconnected. Have you ever had the experience where you've hung out with someone or you entered a room where people were feeling sad or low, and you immediately felt a shift in the energy, and you could feel your emotional state getting more dense. You could feel your energy decreasing. And vice versa. Have you ever been around someone who was energetic and enthusiastic and excited, and you could feel your energy rising as you spent more time with them? This gets me to the point that our guilt serves no one. It drains our energy as we become more dense. And like I said, because the energy we broadcast affects everything around us. So how can we convert those feelings, those low vibrational states of guilt, into a higher vibrational emotion of gratitude? So here are a few examples, and I would also love to hear your examples in the comments below. For example, my friend I was hanging out with a few months ago was talking about how she felt guilty for taking a short bath because she felt as though she had used too much water and didn't spend enough time in it, whatever that means. And I thought to myself, she could convert those feelings of guilt into feelings of gratitude by appreciating and feeling gratitude for having the bath and for having access to clean, hot water to bathe in. I know sometimes I feel guilty when I'm out in the city and I see houseless people on the streets, and I have to remind myself to come back to those feelings of gratitude and to really appreciate and feel gratitude for this beautiful roof over my head and a warm bed to sleep in at night. I've also felt guilty for something I said or the way I reacted to a situation, and I've found that I can convert that guilt into gratitude by being grateful and feeling gratitude for the awareness I'm gaining about my thoughts and my feelings and my reactions. Knowing that the more awareness I bring to these situations, the more I can respond differently in the future. Maybe you've felt guilty in the past for taking time to yourself or for holding a boundary. But I feel that we can turn that guilt into gratitude by really feeling grateful for honoring our magnificence and for choosing to nourish ourselves and to give ourselves what we need in that moment. Because I truly believe that we can't give anything to anyone else unless we first cultivate it in ourselves. You might have felt guilty for being late for an appointment or for a meeting with someone. And instead of saying sorry, you can express your gratitude for their patience. You can express your appreciation towards that person or individual. I believe that when we raise our vibration, we become more aligned with our higher selves and more attuned with the divinity. And the more that we are in alignment, the more we're literally filled with light and energy that we can radiate out to those around us. And as we become the spacious awareness of the present moment, we can begin to see the divinity in everything. So in addition to expressing these feelings of gratitude and appreciation for what is, I think it can be really valuable to take even just a few moments to send loving thoughts out into the world around us. For example, when I feel guilty when I see a houseless person, I can take a few moments to feel grateful for what I have in my life. But then I can also take a few moments to send loving thoughts to those who need it. Because like I said before, We are literally all interconnected, and the vibration that we put out into the universe helps raise the vibration of the world around us. We are truly powerful beings. You are a truly powerful being. And I think we often forget just how powerful we really are. And I think that I'm just beginning to realize the true power I hold inside myself. And this is so exciting because I think that when we realize that what we think and how we feel influences how we perceive the world around us, that it's only our willingness to bring awareness to our thoughts and our feelings and our reactions that can help shift and change the world that we experience. Now, are you willing to practice shifting guilt into gratitude? Because everything is a practice. So what's one thing that you might have felt guilty about recently? And how can you shift that into gratitude? I would love it if you would share your ideas down below. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I love you. I truly love you. But always remember to love yourself the most. Yahoo!